Hello YouTube, hello internet, hello fellow modelers. It's that time of the week again. It's Friday and it's Meet the Fleet. So today I've got a bit of an update and I have a bit of fun as well. Let me just roll this one past just to get the camera going properly and off we go. So we're off. So today's Meet the Fleet. Basically what we're doing today is it's a bit of an update. I'm sure if any of you have looked at my video, you'll have seen that I bought a Vectron from Fleischmann some time ago. The 739377, which is a DCC electric locomotive, and it was grey with red with PKP cargo wrote on the side of it. It's been a bit of a long story really. The first video I did was about 15-20 minutes long. It wasn't really a Meet the Fleet or anything like that. It was me basically whining about what a poor product it was and how bad it was. And the saga went on for quite a long time. I mean, this is going back probably November something, maybe not November, maybe December-ish, I don't know. But I bought one, sent it back, the next one came the next day, tried that, didn't work, sent it back. Ordered another two, delivered, all three of them basically had the same problem. They wouldn't run at a slow speed on my track, and it wasn't my track, it was perfectly clean, as it is today. The first one that I sent back, it run very badly, but then once I stopped filming the video, the sound chip inside went and the lights went as well, it all went dead. So there's been quite a few issues, and the last two that I sent back we both had the same QA ticket, so they were obviously from the same batch, which was 69909, and I've yet to talk to Fleischmann about it, which I will do. However, the supplier where I've been getting my locos from, who've been fantastic with me, I just want to give them a quick mention as well because they're brilliant. It's Skog Rail of Ipswich. They've really helped me out. This has cost them money to send these locos out, and they're not in profit anymore with this, so hands up to them guys out there for putting up with my sort of like disappointment. And they're disappointed as well because they've got a business to run, and there's no reflection on them. I just wanted to highlight that they've done everything I could have asked of them. But so I've got another loco today which I'm going to show you. I've had it for a couple of days. I've been running it to make sure it works, and it's nearly there. Unfortunately it's going to have to go back as well, but at least I can make a video to show you what this loco is all about. So enough of me quacking on about it, and let's just focus in here and just drop it on the loco here so you can actually see what we've got. For those of you that have watched my video, you will have seen this is the loco, and I've got to be honest with you, I've waited 9 months for this loco, so the disappointment sort of like has been reduced a bit because I've got my hands on one now that I can actually run it around the track and have a bit of fun with it. Bits of fun being the appropriate word, because obviously there's another issue with it, but it's a very minor issue which really 90% of people wouldn't even bother about. But the fact that I've been messed about and it's cost me so much in postage, I just want it to be 100% so that I know I'm getting value for money, and that's basically where I am. Now a lot of you all know that I have got quite a few locos. I haven't even shown all the locos I've got yet. I'm trying to do one a week so it keeps it going, but I've been throwing 2 or 3 in the background as well so that people can see what locos are there, give them a sniff what's coming in the future. As the one behind the PKP you'll see here, you'll have seen that in a previous video, but a bit of an update on that as well at the end. And the loco that drove past at the beginning, that's a steam loco. Had a bit of fun with that. We'll leave that as that, see if you can work out what's going on there. But anyway, back to the PKP. So what's wrong with this PKP? Well, in short, one of the LED lights at the end is very dim, and the other two are okay, and the 2 reverse lights are alright. The other end of the loco, which is actually this end's fine. It's this end, and it's this back light here which is a bit of a mess. So let me just pop the lights on. Okie dokie. So you'll notice straight away that those lights have come on. If I can drop that now, you can't see it, it's not showing it. So basically, let me just move it a little bit, see if I can get it to get it to move away. This will pop the red lights on because it's actually driving away. But I'm just going to move it farther back, so when I turn it the other way, hopefully the shadow of the 151 at the back will allow us to see the lights on it. So let me just move the camera slightly and just angle it across. bit restricted because of the because of my board here. So it's just forgive me, let's just get a bit of focus in here. There we go. So I'm just going to lean my camera over at an angle just so you can see. Basically the light on the bottom here is very, very dim. It is there, but it's very, very dim, whereas the other two are very bright, as you can probably see. So that's basically what's the matter with this loco. Apart from that, everything else works fine. So you might say it's a bit of a red herring, really, that I'm moaning about something a bit ridiculous. And I am, to be fair, but I just feel like I want my money's worth, which is what this is all about. But anyway, let's get back to the loco, and let me just pull it forward a bit, get a bit closer. Now this is a sound loco, and as you can see, it's running really, really slowly, and that's exactly what I like. I like my locos to run slowly when I'm doing my videos, so you can see a bit about them. So let's just park him up for a minute, and then we'll go through. Like I say, this is a sound loco, and I'm just going to turn it the other way, so we've got the red lights on it at the back there, showing the. In fact, no, we'll leave the front lights on, because I'm going to go through the sounds on it, the actual, which are pretty good, to be fair. This has got quite a big suite. It's got like 20, I think it's 20, let me look at my thing, 23 it's got on it. And they're all different, and different in their own way. A lot of the other locos that I've got, they've got like 18 to 20 on it as well. But this one, the first one, is the engine start up. I'm going to shut up so you can listen to this, because it's an electric loco, so it takes it a bit of time to wind up. Here we go. And that's it fired up. So that's F1, and it doesn't sound too spectacular, but when it's flowing along, it sounds much better. Let me just move it a little bit so you can just hear it. You can hear the electric kicking in. Turn it the other way. Sounds great. You know, it's just how the original sounds, which is fantastic. I watched a video a couple of nights ago, and I was quite impressed. It's exactly the same as the original, which is what this is all about. And then we've got F2. That's a long whistle, horn, whistle, whatever you want to call it. It's counted as a whistle on the documentation. And then number 3, short whistle. Then number 4 is headlamps. That's full beam. Now, funny enough, the full beam, you can probably see the full beam on the far side. It does actually work. Let me just put this down the side, and you might be able to see it shadow off it. So I'm not sure if it highlights it enough, but that's definitely where. In fact, let me put my iPad back down for a second, and then we'll lean the camera across so you can see the full lights on the bottom. So you should be able to see it now. It's lit up pretty well now. Just put the black thing down the back of it as well, and that should reflect it out a bit more. So you can actually see the full beam light actually works perfectly. But as soon as you take the full beam off, it will return back to being dull. There you go. Bit disappointing, but again, that's the way it is. So, F5. That's coupling and uncoupling, and you might have heard my bones creak. That wasn't part of the coupling. That's old age. The next one, which is F6, it's only, you can only hear that, and it's only a very slight sound, and what it does, it reduces the speed of the engine. It's the inertia, so there's no sound to that as such. It's just like, it just reduces the inertia, and the sound of the electric engine drops lower. And then F7, that's the air compressor. Then F8 is the opposite side lights being turned off. You can't see that from here because the loco's turned the other way, obviously. F9 is the shunting, so what happens then is the engine again drops down to a very low speed. But again, there's no sound on that. It's just like an inertia thing, only it's a quarter of the speed of the original, half of half inertia, if you get what I mean. Then F10 is turn to sound off. Then F12 and F11. Well, F12 is this end. You'll see the lights going off and on, and F11 is the other side. And then we've got F13, which is a loco whistle, very short. But this next one is the one I like the best. It's F14. I'm going to shut up so you can hear this. I'm going to do it twice. So that depicts a goods wagon train going past, which I think is fantastic. I wish it had been a bit longer. Could have actually used it when you're passing some other train in front of you to make it sound like it's your train passing a stood train or something like that, or vice versa. It works both ways, doesn't it? But I think that's a really nice touch, and I'm going to be utilising that at some stage. I might take the soundbite and extend it. So I'll have to get myself a bit of software to do that first. Obviously some editing software which I'm not actually using at the moment. But anyway, the next one is F15, and that's cab doors. And then F16 is a cabin announcement, which is obviously in German. And then we've got F18, no, so F17, sorry, that's another warning. And then we've got F18. That's in cabin, and that's the cipher horn. And then 19, which usually works, normally they do this so it only works when the loco's actually moving, but just for the video, this depicts braking. Really unusual for Fleischmann, because they normally do that when it's actually moving. You can't do it when it's static, but it does. I mean, obviously it does work, and I have been messing about with it, so it is. I use it on the corners a lot as well, so that's pretty cool. And then that F20, this is a functional like force braking, but there's also German with it. Heavy braking. And then 21 and 22 are, instead of using the CV values to increase and decrease the sound of the noise or the sound on the loco, you can do it using 21 and 22. So they're just basically function buttons for the volume. And then the last but not least, it's a very short horn. And that's all the functions on this loco with the sound. I paid £190 for this. I think Gauge Master are knocking them out at 230 for me. Dick Turpin wore a mask when he robbed people. I think they're shocking the price they're selling them for. But that's Gauge Master for you. So that's what they do with the foreign locos. Imagine what they're doing to you guys who collect the UK stuff. I think it's really shocking how they get away with charging so much, especially for the quality. But anyway, So that concludes really the PKP. That's everything that it'll do. It is a nice locomotive, and I will be looking forward to getting the next one. I'll be sending this one back in the next couple of days as soon as the other one comes. And then again, I'll probably do a bit of a run around on the back end of another video at another time, just so that you can see the update. Would I recommend to buy this loco? It's really hard, that. I mean, most of the time, like the last one I did, the National Express one, I would have bought 2 of them without hesitating. But again, because they've got the same running numbers, that's the other reason why I won't do that. If Fleischmann start to do different running numbers on locos, then I most certainly would have bought 2 NXs. As for this PKP, I ordered 2 at the beginning because I so wanted 2 of them, because I've got quite a lot of PKP cargo stuff, and with the coal wagons, the gondolas, and with these hopper wagons. So and the PKP stuff is quite prevalent in Germany because it's right close to the Polish border, obviously, and this is Polish Railways. So I guess if you managed to get yourself on an actual locomotive that worked, and you collected that sort of thing, and it fitted in with your model railway set, then yeah, you know, I wouldn't hesitate. The service, it can't really be blamed on. Well, I suppose it's a combination. The service between Gauge Master and Germany, that's where the problem lies. And because they're moving their production to Asia, I mean, I think they're sending us to, in the future, everything's going to be built in Vietnam. So who knows what the quality is going to be like then. I'm just a bit perplexed about that, if I'm honest, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But anyway, let me just fire this down the line, and let's just hook it up with some stuff, and then I'll drive it off into the distance so you can hear it. It's going to hook up to some of the weathered blue PKP stuff that I've got, as you'll remember from a previous video. Again, this has got, you'll probably see, it's got the Profi coupling on the front. All the digital Fleischmann locos come with Profi coupling on. Right, that's coupled, so let's just turn it around. The coupling on this system is so good. It never fails. I never get a single fail. You've seen how slowly that moves, but normally you'd have to rush that into the back of a wagon to get it to hook up, but not with this. It just hooked up immediately. That's the thing I like about this Profi coupling stuff. So let's speed it up a bit, send it down the line, and then that'll conclude the video. As you can see, obviously it's highlighting, so you get to see some of the PKP weathered wagons as well. It's just the light's shining on that quite a bit, so let me just send it so you can see it a bit further down, and you get to see the full colour of the wagons then. And you can see that they're all differently weathered, so they don't look the same. So that's it, guys. That's Meet the Fleet this week. Obviously it's an update version of it. I've got lots of other locos. I'm not sure what I'm going to show next week, unless I pick up another new one in the meantime, which is quite possible. But if not, then I'll lift one out of my collection. I've got plenty. I've also got one I've got to send back because it keeps catching on the junctions, which is a real shame because it's a proper nice diesel locomotive. I might show that before I send it back, actually, because it's quite a rare loco. Anyway, so this is the end of the old PKP. Hope you liked the video, everyone. Give it a thumbs up if you did. I've got 24 subs at the moment. It'd be great to hit the 30. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. That'd be great. And then you'll hit that little bell, and you'll be able to see the next video I've done. Oh, and look what's there. Just forgot all about this, actually. Right, this loco you can see in the background. This is one that I showed a couple of weeks ago. Let's pop the lights on for a second. Let's run it a bit closer. Right, so you'll probably notice, if you watch my other videos, that this wasn't weathered, and now it is. So you can see it's a rather nice job. All the roof's very, very dark. Let's just tilt it a little bit so you can see the roof. See, it's got all the dirt in the grooves in the roof. And the front end, let me just back it up a bit, because the front end looks really smart. It's as if the windows are crying. Let's see if I can get a nice focus on it. So you can probably see, I hope you can see from there anyway. Let's have a look, that looks pretty alright. You can probably see all the front windows, how it's drained down, how it's washed away at the top up here from where it's driving against the wind. So it's pretty nice. It looks pretty cool. So there's a bit of an update for you guys on my BR151 111, and let's just see if I can get that to, let's just pop it a little bit closer so we can go right level with the camera here. Let me get a real close up on it. Let's just focus it in. Right guys, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like I say, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Tell me why. I know I'm still learning, but hopefully it'll have been fun for you guys. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you sometime next week. Obviously, if I get anything new in the meantime, I'll pop it on. What I'm going to do as well in the future, I'm going to start showing some of my goods wagons as well that I've got, because I've got a massive collection of them, and coaches as well. I haven't got many weathered coaches. That's something I need to start doing, but I've got so much stuff to weather, it's just keeping up with it all is really difficult. Anyway, enough of me gabbing. Enjoy your weekend guys. Thanks very much again. Bye bye.